your children are best friends and they want to see each other, so you're forced to build new friendships out of the friendships that your children have. Hello, it's Laifa. How are you? Today I want to talk about making friends as an adult. I feel like this subject has been a long time coming. I touched on this subject a little bit on one of my vlogs. I think the eye is over here. I'm saying the eyes over here and it's going to pop up somewhere else. And also in the description box, when you go through transitions and stages, like things change in your life, i.e. you get married, you have children, or you have children and then you get married. Either way, there becomes some sort of disconnect. Whether you are the life of the party and you're like a social bumblebee, or whether you're more of an introvert and you like your own company. Either way, when there is a change, especially something like having children or getting married, there's always this sort of break in sort of friendship and friendship groups. Generally speaking, a lot of people build their lifelong friends in secondary school. I'm a social person. I'm not an introvert. I'm definitely an extrovert. And I want to really connect with ladies who are, mothers for the first time, and especially if you are a social bumblebee, it becomes a real shock to the system when you're a mother and you find that the friends that used to come round don't come round as much as they used to. They don't have time for you, you don't have time for them, and there's this lack of communication. And especially if your friends don't have babies or they haven't had children, they don't really understand what you're going through. You'll find that when you do become a mother for the first time, you turn into this social recluse. Because I was the first one out of all my friends to have a child, so there was a huge disconnect. There was a lack of communication. There was no communication. I feel like that also affects a woman's state of mind, her mental well-being. Circumstances and situations also play on that, not just the hormone imbalance, which is a big thing as well. Like, even up till now, I don't know if it, like, people tell me, oh, it was a jealousy thing, or it was a lack of, like, I up till now I don't really know the reason as to why the friends that I had are no longer, because it was just a complete breakdown. In hindsight, now I look back and I realize that I had good friends when I was in my early 20s who had babies very young, and our communication just stopped because they couldn't do the things that I would do, and they seemed not to want to do the things that I would do because their priorities have changed and their agenda has changed because they have a little one. And now, when I, a few years later, having my own babies, I now realize, so that is what that friend was going through then, having not realized it myself because I was still young, free, single, and doing what I like. Now, fast forward, I want to say almost 5 years down the line, because my eldest child will be 5. It does get better when you start going to, especially if you live in the UK, I don't know how it is around the world, but there are social groups, especially for mothers, because they understand that there is a huge change in your life, and there are social groups for your baby to socialize in, go to, children's centers, baby drop-ins, and just, it's good to kind of talk to other mums and just talk to another adult about anything and everything. Even though I was going to children's centers for the longest time, and I found that I never really built up a connection with anybody to sort of make them my friend. I'm the sort of person, like, if I like you, I love you, and if I don't like you, there's a wall. Now, fast forward, my child has now started school, and I'm saying this to reassure those that it does get better. And you might feel like, oh my goodness, I have to wait 3, 4, 5 years down the line before I could start making friends again. But it happens a lot quicker and easier than you think. What happens is your children make friends in nursery, and if you're like a nosy mum like I am, I want to know who my children's friends are. And if that is my child's best friend, I want to know that best friend. I want to know that best friend's mother. I want to know that best friend's father. They're influenced by good and bad. So I'm the sort of person that, if my child is making friends and they're best friends, I want to know that child's family. That's when things sort of changed for me and got better. Start setting up play dates with these friends, and obviously you have to socialize with the parents, and you find that you either like the parents or you don't like the parents, but you're nice to them because you have to be, because your children are best friends and they want to see each other, so you're forced to build new friendships out of the friendships that your children have. For a long time I was sort of moaning about not having friends, and now I found that I don't even have time for the new friends that I've got in my life, which is very, very sad. It's like I want to make new friends, but now I don't have time for these new friends because I'm just far too busy. And I don't know, I'm hoping that if you're watching this video that you can relate with me, and if you're not quite at my stage where your kids are slightly younger than me and you're feeling a little bit bluesy, make that child is your number one priority. You being in good health is your number one priority. If you've got a partner or a husband, keeping your relationship alive is your number one priority, because children will change the dynamics of your relationship and it will either make it or break it. And it's very important to try and fit in time on a daily basis anytime you can. I feel like there's this precious thing that married couples and people in long-term relationships have, is pillow talk. Pillow talk gets very difficult when you've had a newborn, but little time is better than no time. Friends will come. Friends have now come into my life, and I've realized that it's not such a bad thing, or it wasn't such a bad thing having that time alone when I felt like I was lonely, because it allowed me to be more creative. Out of that time that I was lonely, that's where I started, my business. Out of that time being lonely, that's when I really started to focus on my YouTube channel. Out of that time being lonely, I decided to, get more connected with God. So it hasn't been a bad thing. It has only birthed so much good, having that time for myself. Friends can sometimes be a distraction. We all need friends, and even if it does feel like you're desperately lonely, the important thing is to keep yourself busy. You'll find that a lot of mothers are entrepreneurs because they've had a lot of time to think and come up with ideas and create stuff because they have that time. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've got no friends. No, use that time to make yourself more valuable. I've got my hands in, quite a few baskets. That time is crafted out for you to be a better you. Use that time to build your empire. In the meantime, friends will come. Trust me, they will come. Now I have to create that time. I have to carve it out of my schedule, because in all realism, I don't have time, so I have to create that time for the people in my life. I think that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to sort of ramble about. Little Adesua is here. I don't know if you want to see her. I might just prop her up. She's in her little vest because her hair is crazy today. For the past few days, her hair's been crazy because Mummy can only do so much. But here she is. Oh my, I can't even lift her up. Let me try and lift her. Oh, say hey, Desi. Say hi. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. I make weekly family vlogs as well as hair videos and chit chat videos like this. So please, if that sounds right up your street, subscribe. Until my next video, think smart, work hard, make it happen. Bye.